Hey, welcome back to my channel. I'm Ashley and you're watching The Rural Companion. In this video, I'm going to bring you along for a week in the life of me, a homesteader, homemaker, homeschooler, and full-time teacher at a private school. There is one huge exception to my week that is totally atypical. My family is traveling. Now, during this week, we have a school holiday, so I am not working today. We also have a very large and intimidating winter storm headed our way over the next 24 hours or so that should last most of the week. So much of my week will be taking care of animals, making sure everyone has water, food, and they stay warm. I will also be doing a handful of things inside the house to make sure that our pipes don't freeze, that just everything keeps functioning as necessary. Plus I have a handful of cleaning projects, little very small cleaning projects to do while my family's away. And of course, I hope to have a day of relaxation today. And finally, after I do all of that, I also need to finish out the lesson plans for my homeschool kids at home for the rest of the school year. So join me this week as I do all of my usual mom work home things, but without my family. Okay, it is nice and sunny out, but it is still below freezing right now. So I am going to deliver the rabbit's waterer to her along with some veggies to all of the animals. We have been trying to feed everybody a little extra while it's really cold, just to, I don't know, make it more tolerable. I do plan on collecting the rabbit's water each day and bringing it back out in the morning, I guess each evening, and then bringing it back out in the morning so that it doesn't freeze and then potentially crack overnight. Everybody else, with the exception of the dogs, have a heater with their water, so nobody's water should get completely frozen. Hopefully, we'll see. Good morning, everybody. Everybody wants food. She was very thirsty, poor girl. Belly. There you go. The other thing I plan on doing is bringing a couple boxes out for her house just to give her a little bit more shelter because her cage is open, but I'll bring that out later today. Okay, I wanted to get her fed because she was not going to stop crying until I fed her. However, Luna, our female pig, we isolated her about a week ago because we realized that she was pregnant. And on Valentine's morning, she had 5 sweet little piglets. Let me unhook the camera from the tripod and we'll see what we can see inside the house. Good morning. It is a Tuesday and currently 21 degrees and plummeting. It is not precipitating as they forecasted it would be at this time, but I believe it should do something here in a little bit. They canceled schools in our area today, and a lot of schools have already canceled for tomorrow, mine included, just because the forecast looks awful. We've got ice, snow, and below zero temperatures as overnight lows today, tomorrow, and maybe Thursday. I'm not exactly sure, but it is crazy cold, which is really unusual for Oklahoma. However, we get these little spurts every now and then. Okay, so my game plan for this morning is to eat breakfast. I did already work out. I do need to go out and tend animals this morning. I'm gonna make sure everybody gets extra food this morning, as well as that they have as much water as they can get. I'll break ice for the animals that don't have heated waterers and make sure that everybody gets a drink while I'm there. And then I'll go back out in a couple hours to make sure everybody gets a second drink. Let's see. The other thing that I need to get done today is I do need to wash my hair before our water lines freeze. I need to crack or drip the faucets so that nothing does freeze. However, we tend to just drip the cold water because all of our faucets just have the single valve. So we're not able to drip the hot water or the cold, like we're only able to drip one faucet, cold or hot, and we tend to keep the cold running instead of the hot. So I'm gonna get my hair washed because that's my priority. And I'm not sure when I'll get to wash it, maybe not until Friday or Saturday, which I go several days. Anyway, long story. Oh, and then I do need to do some lesson plans and then get the, let's see, need to do some lesson plans and then probably have some more resting and relaxing to do. Last night I was able to take a really great soak. I got some fancy Epsom salts with flavor or scent in it, and that was fantastic. I normally just use regular Epsom salt, so felt a little pampered, and I think that's about it for today. So I'll bring the camera along for my day as I go, just because why not? Okay, as you can tell, I am putting a ton of layers on because it is cold outside. Now, I do have really thick gloves, but I am opting for these really thin knit ones because opening animal pens and checking water and things like that, it just doesn't work well with the really thick gloves. So I'm gonna use the thin ones. I'm only gonna be outside for about 15-20 minutes, so it should be fine. I am gonna go do rounds. I am not bringing the camera with me because it's just gonna take extra time that I really don't want to spend outside. I'm confirming that everybody has water and that everybody is warm, and if not, we will okay, I just came back inside after checking on all of the animals, and here is my prognosis. Ooh. Okay, it is cold outside, check. It is sleeting or freezing raining. I'm not really sure, but it's precipitating. Everything is covered in a very thin layer of ice. All of the latches and things for everybody's fence are covered in ice. The dogs don't have a water heater, so their water had a nice layer of ice on it. I broke that up. Figure if I stay on top of it, it shouldn't get as thick. The donkey's heater water, I mean, it's keeping the bottom from freezing, but there is a thin layer of ice on the top. I did get the rabbit, or I took her water to her, so I'll just take her water out periodically throughout the day. I got her to get a drink, so I kind of just wiggled it and said, hey, like, look, here's water. And she took a drink. Not that I am a rabbit whisperer by any means. And so I got her to take a drink. I got our piggy mama to get a drink. The rest of the pigs have pond access, and because it is so windy, our pond hasn't frozen yet, but I'll have to stay on top of that because I'm assuming overnight it's going to get a layer of ice on top of it as the wind settles, possibly overnight, and I'll have to break up ice in the morning or give them a water dish, which again is going to freeze. So it's just dealing with freezing temperatures and water. The biggest thing is that everybody gets water throughout the day and stays warm. Everybody looks warm and has plenty of warm, like, housing. So I think all is well right now. I'm going to get back to my computer work. Lifestyle is a concept I just came in from doing the evening animal chores. Now, I did go out 3 times today to break up ice, make sure everybody was comfortable. The dogs are not even going into their house. That's how comfortable they are. The current temperature is 13 degrees, feels like -4. So that's what we're dealing with. Now, the views outside are starting to get gorgeous as the day has gone on. I was worried that it just wasn't going to get any prettier because the ice is just never pretty. But we now have had consistent snow for probably 6 hours now, and it's just starting to get nice and covered and pretty. The wind is still blowing, and that means our pond has not frozen yet, but I'm expecting it to overnight. And I thought, so my family is in Red River, New Mexico, which you can check those videos out from previous years right over here. But when we very first went to Red River, I hunkered down in front of the beautiful picture window with a creek right off in the distance and watched the deer come up. And this was back while we still lived in Tulsa. And I remember thinking, oh my goodness, this is so beautiful. I never want to leave. And sure enough, we managed to get that exact view. Now, I have begged my husband to take this entire wall down and make it a picture window, actually a window wall, because I want to be able to see our view so bad. And you know, it's really not in the budget, so that's okay. I would just savor this beautiful view knowing that my family has a very similar view, and I might add a picture overlay in here of my family's view right now as we speak. They did hit the slopes for a little bit today, but are now back at their cabin to rest and recover and gear up for a full day of skiing and snowboarding tomorrow. I'm gonna make some dinner and probably watch some sappy romantic movie that my family would be bored to tears or poke their eyeballs out or whatnot. Hey, it's Wednesday morning. I'm about to heavily bundle up and head out to make sure all the animals have water, give them some morning breakfast food or feed, whatever, and just see how everybody fared overnight. We ended up getting, I don't know, the snow kept going through the evening hours, so we have maybe 1.5 inches. It's not a ton of snow, but the biggest thing that we have is the extreme cold temperatures. Thankfully, the sun is shining, but my phone is saying that it's 3 degrees and feels like -16. So fun, fun because we don't normally get stuff like this here in Oklahoma. I take that back. We do. It does get this cold in Oklahoma, but it seems to just be little spurts. Far cry from the 100-degree temperatures that we have in the summer. Now, the high for today is 15, and then the low was 0, so it already hit 0, and now we're going to creep up slowly to 15. Tomorrow's high is 21, and then for tonight, like the overnight low will be 4, and then we head into the 60s and almost 70 degrees by next week, very early next week. I know that I speak for all of the animals outside when I say we are all very much ready for winter to be over and to get into spring, which brings a whole nother host of weird weather in Oklahoma. That probably is the perfect video, is the weird weather in Oklahoma and all of the extremes that we have. If you like to be kept on your toes, Oklahoma is the state to live in. And if you like predictability in weather, Oklahoma is not the state to live in. I haven't heard from my family. Actually, I take that back. I just got a first morning text from my daughter. I guess they are all just waking up now at their ski cabin in Red River, New Mexico, and I'm excited to hear how they all slept, and then they're getting ready to hit the slopes today. I don't think you can tell, but all 3 pigs are in the big house right there. The small house, I mean. Oh, you're hungry. Okay. Me? Woo! Oh, babies. Hi. Are you so cold? Oh, little babies. Oh, they're in a little nest. This is so cute. You can see that Mama was right here. Babies are nice and warm. Okay, so it is midday and I played around with a hairstyle that I saw. I also tested out a recipe that I thought seemed cool. The cottage cheese and eggs, and you blend it and then bake it, and it makes a flatbread. Mine just reminds me of an omelet. I was going for like a pizza, and I think it'll be good. It just, the egg and cottage cheese mixture are like an omelet. So really soft. It didn't really hold together quite the way that I was expecting it to, which in hindsight, it makes sense that it holds together like this. I'm also working on kids' school or lesson plans for the rest of the homeschool year. And I think I drank too much coffee because I have like no focus in me to get this stuff done. And I kind of have procrastinated. This is the last like big thing that I need to do. Thankfully, it's early enough that I should have plenty of time. I also know that if I focus, I can get it done, but I just kind of want to eat, I guess, and maybe see if that helps. Thursday, and I am done all of the things that I had planned for this week while my family was gone. We are having yet another snow day because it is incredibly cold. Our overnight low was, I believe, 0 or maybe 1 degree, and this area is just not used to dealing with this type of extreme cold plus the ice. So our roads are a mess. Our equipment for like dealing with the roads, like the snowplows and the salt trucks, and we actually use a liquid brine here in our state that can't handle temperatures below 15 degrees. Or it just doesn't work below 15 degrees. So there are a handful of things that are just kind of in limbo while we are so cold. So I got a bunch of work done yesterday for my kids the rest of their homeschool year. And today I have kind of a freebie day to do some kitchen projects that I have just put off because I needed time to do it. The first thing I plan on making this morning is a body butter. I do have a handful of supplies sitting out on my counter. So I've got some coconut oil, shea butter, cocoa butter, and almond oil, and I plan on making a vanilla scented body butter, which the natural products just seem to be so amazing on my eczema spots that I have. And I have gotten those for years. I thought it was gluten related, and it seems they are less when I eat less gluten. So there's some correlation there, but I still have them currently and I'm not eating gluten. I don't have them as bad. So I'm trying to look and see where I have one. There's a spot right there and it's pretty much gone. So I think that was an older spot. Anyway, the natural body butter style lotions are the best thing for my eczema spots, patches, and so I plan on making that. I have been gifted a handful over the years, bought a couple, but now I just need to make my own. And the other thing, I thought I would make another bar of soap because I haven't done that in a while, and I'll probably do that a vanilla scented as well, just to see if I can't have, you know, like a cohesive set of soap and body butter. We'll see. And that's really all I have planned today. I'll still need to go out and tend animals because it's still frozen. Everything is solid outside, and I need to do that here soon, probably in the next 30-40 minutes after I do my body butter. Oh, and I made some coffee in the French press right there, which it just makes an extra strong and fancy coffee feel. And I did a really silly thing. I forgot to drip the kitchen faucet last night, so that is frozen. I did remember the rest of the faucets around our house, so we still have running water in most of our faucets, but I have plenty of jugs of water for using in the kitchen. But I shouldn't have turned the faucet off, so oh well. At least I don't have to hear it drip today. And tomorrow we're supposed to get back to 30. I think it's actually spot on 30. So it should melt by tomorrow, if not by Saturday. Okay, the recipe says a half cup each of cocoa butter, shea butter, coconut oil, and olive oil. I have stopped buying olive oil right now just because it's so incredibly expensive. So I'm going to sub it out with almond oil, and that should be totally fine. I do need to melt the oils first, so I'm going to do that on a double broiler. That's really hard. Whoops, that's going to be too much. That's a half cup. Okay, good morning. I am putting a headlamp on because I need to go do animals in the dark before I leave for school. Now, I'm a little concerned because it is 10 degrees, my phone is showing, so I am just not sure how waters are going to do. By the end of today, it does get into the 30s. However, the morning, even if I top off waters, they're all going to refreeze in the next hour or so. So I'm not really sure. I'll do it anyway and just roll with it, but I won't be here to check on animals. Thankfully, all of our faucets did not freeze overnight because I left them dripping. Okay, crazy story. My car is mad at me. I call her Sassy because she is. I typically have my car set on a remote start every morning, but because I have not driven my car in the past 3 days, it sent me a message this morning that it could not remote start because the car hasn't been driven. So I came out at my usual time and my car is not warm and ready to go like it typically is. So yay, I'll have to sit here in a cold car for a couple minutes to get everything ready. I was able to get all of the animals taken care of, but I am so grateful that I don't have to do this on a regular basis. I'm also grateful that I only had 1 day this week to do it, because if I had to do this every morning before I went to school, I guarantee you I would have been exhausted more so than I am already. I actually feel so refreshed from having a 3-day mandatory stay at home, catch up on things, and just chill a couple days, and I am so grateful for that. My car is heating up slowly. I'm gonna set it into slippery mode. Let's find this. Nope. The other way. There it is, cold mode. Which is also really cool. We'll see how this drive goes, but I'm gonna go really slow. So I just finished up the longest day ever. We probably should not have had school on a Friday after being out for the entire week. I obviously didn't film while I was in school, and I brought home a bunch of work that I need to do this weekend, and hopefully I can chill again tonight after taking care of the animals. There's all the work that I brought home for next week. Okay, as you just saw, I finished cutting up my soap that I made 2 days ago. It is a vanilla chamomile soap, and I'm very excited. This seems really promising. The smell is very full, which I have been struggling to get the flavor or the scent to come through after the like the loaf process. So I'm really excited about this. I do have a handful of things that I need to get done today before my family returns. I have some schoolwork that I need to just prep for next week. Shouldn't take more than an hour. And of course, I have plenty of animal chores to do once the sun fully comes up. Need to collect manure for my garden, compost, and then of course, keep an eyeball on those two things. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed coming along with me for a week. I hope you learned a couple things, and if you have questions, of course, leave a comment in the comment section below. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and thanks again for watching. Bye.